Many years later, we are back at the Quabbin Commons retail development thing. I had a set of videos a while ago, and I never got to processing and uploading. They just got deleted. So I decided to come back and finally do an update, since there actually was something to really update on. Right at the very main entrance, we have a Wendy's, which it's not focusing on because grass is more important. And they are working on a Taco Bell right there. That's coming along. And then just before this next turn, we have a new building that a Dollar Tree moved into, but the rest of it is vacant. But we have a Dollar Tree in there, so fairly large building, but just the one Dollar Tree right now. And surprisingly, after all this time, there's still quite a bit of work up there that needs to be done. So let's head up and see what there is. Well, for the few times we've been there, we've highlighted the market basket, and that is a mobile tower with the equipment inside the big barrel on top. Some people, conspiracy theorists, are stating that it's actually a watchtower, and this is going to be this was going to ultimately become a concentration camp for whatever reason. Really nutso, but you know what? It's part of the history, that whole silly conspiracy. And over here we have Starbucks coffee. And the footage I lost, there was nothing else but that. And Verizon was getting ready to move in. This did not exist at all. The 110 grill. Great food. A little expensive, and I don't like the way they plate things. They put greasy food on top of French fries, and they just get all nasty. And then we come to the, as I hold the camera crooked, we come to the traffic circle, aka the roundabout, or as we here in Massachusetts and some other New England states would call it, a rotary. And we have a fairly new medical facility, medical clinic. And here's where work needs to be done and doesn't seem to be moving even years later. Now, when I shot the footage that I lost, the Hobby Lobby, which is right, it's really hard to see the viewfinder here, right there, was almost completed. And all of this completely unfinished front areas, that was pretty much that, except without the facade. So nothing happened to it there, except the Hobby Lobby is actually open. On the other side of this building, we have a Great Clips and a Sally Beauty Salon. As it's so hard to keep the camera centered when you have two image stabilizers fighting each other. You got one saying this is center, and then the other one says, okay, I believe this is center, and it moves. Alright, we're almost done because there's not much more to show as I'm holding up somebody by mistake. I didn't hear or see them coming. And won't go too much further, but this, on the footage I lost, was nearly completed. It's the Athol 8-screen Cineplex. I just said there's a... No, I'm thinking of the Point has an IMAX screen. I think this is just 8 regular regular movie screens. And this whole thing filled out, because this was not completely filled out when I was last here. So we know of the market basket, and we have shown you the Marshalls that's buried behind the tree line. And there's Maurice's, that was kind of there. We now have a shoe department, an SUV, Pet Supplies Plus, as well as a workers' credit union. Like I said, we got 2 image stabilization features working on this camera, so it kind of doesn't know where center is. They kind of disagree with each other. So basically, the only new thing that really happened is the Athol Cinemas 8 and the Hobby Lobby. And I believe that's all we have. And many of the delays were that all the ground from where I'm standing that way was rock, and they had to blast a lot of it. It took them a couple years to even get to the point of putting these buildings up. And that's about 5 years ago. So I think that's everything that's here. And if it is, Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed, have a good one, and we'll come back and see when it's all full, maybe.